Audio Jungle.
Big Three charged with second murder in Manchester. A Manchester man who police has described as a hitman is to face in the court in relation to a second murder charge. He is Nicholas Stewart, otherwise called Big Tree, a resident and former of Colleyville district in Manchester. Police on Friday charged Stewart for the August 8, 2024 murder of construction worker Nicholas Reed in Sheffield district near Spur Tree. Stewart is accused of chasing Reed before shooting him multiple times at a construction site. He was arrested in April in the Christiana Market. Following his arrest, he was charged in relation to the August 2024 shooting death of a man in northern Manchester. He is also charged with conspiracy to murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. Police accused Stewart of killing Cleveland Russell 32 on Wednesday, August 28, 2024, about 4:30 p.m. at Line of Parish District near the northeast Manchester, South Trelawney border. Police said Russell was at a shop along the line of Parish Main Road when a blue Toyota Mark X drove up and Stewart alighted from the car before punching on Russell. After a brief conversation, Stewart reported to open fire on the victim, who fell to the ground before more rounds were fired. Stewart reported to walk away from the scene. The incident was captured on CCTV. 14 guns and over 50 rounds of ammo seized, man arrested and another being sought. The police are searching for a man as they pull the seizure of 14 firearms and over 50 rounds of ammunition on Deeside Avenue in St. Andrew. The police say another man was taken into custody during the operation, which was conducted on Wednesday. Reports are that about 7:40 p.m., personnel from the Firearms and Narcotics Investigations Division conducted an intelligence-led operation at a premises, which resulted in the seizure of 14 firearms, 2 rifles, and 12 handguns, 12 magazines, and 57 rounds of ammunition. One man was taken into custody, however, his identity is being withheld pending further investigations. In addition, the division is actively searching for another suspect who evaded the police. Tough Child Month. May, a month dedicated to celebrating and protecting Jamaican children, was shrouded in a cloud of darkness as the nation grappled with the senseless loss of young lives. National Child Month observed this year under the theme Act Now, Stand Against Child Abuse and Exploitation, wrapped on Saturday. But though it was marked by various activities and celebrations centered around children, including a National Day of Prayer, there were also incidents of violence against children, sparking widespread outrage and concern among Jamaicans. Just 9 days into the annual Child Month celebration, a police report indicated that a 9-year-old girl was found dead inside a barrel at her St. Catherine home on Job Lane in Spanish Town. The child was identified as Kelsey Farrakhan. It is suspected that she was raped before she was killed. The main suspect, Giovanni Ellis, was shot dead during a reported confrontation with police in Sandy Bay, Clarendon 3 days later. The gruesome murder was condemned by government officials and state agencies, and Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness hinted at the need to review sections of the Sex Offenders Registry. In another incident, 4-year-old Jake Grinnell died from a gunshot wound to the head at a residence in Ingleside, Manchester, Mandeville. A police report stated that about 10 p.m., Gia, her 12-year-old sibling, and their mother, Yannick Brown, were at home when the shooting happened. The report stated that Brown told detectives that she put her children to bed and went to use the restroom when she heard a loud explosion. The mother's slice of her arm was reported left in her bag. Brown was charged with child negligence and breach of duty to securely store a firearm and ammunition. And 4 days before the end of May, a decomposing body believed to be that of a missing 8-year-old Navardo Blackburn was found in a car in Gregory Park, St. Catherine. Navardo, who is artistic, was last seen at a playing field in the community on May 24. According to a police report, residents complained about a full scent coming from a parked vehicle in the community at about 3 p.m. The body was later found in the car under a piece of cardboard with a crate on top of it. St. Catherine East Central Member of Parliament Alonzo Tarralong described the tragic outcome of the search for the 8-year-olds as a dire situation. Also in May, more than 50 Ananda alerts were issued by both the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF and the Child Protection and Family Services Agency CPFSA. The Ananda Alert System is Jamaica's response mechanism implemented to ensure the safe and speedy recovery of a child in the event that he or she goes missing. Before the Ananda Alert System, there was a Red Alert System that would require individuals to wait 24 hours before making a missing person report. However, due to the unfortunate incident that in 2008, which led to the discovery of a decomposing body of Ananda Dean in bushes after she was reported missing, the 24-hour requirement was removed. Individuals are now urged to report a child as missing immediately after all steps taken to locate them have failed. During a webinar held in observance of International Missing Children's Day, an under-alert officer at the CPFSA, Andrew Roberts, shared that 1,011 children were reported missing in 2024. Roberts said that of the children who were reported missing last year, 89% of them returned home and 11% are still missing. The data for 2024 also showed that 301 reports being missing children were filed in St. Catherine, and most among all, 14 parishes. Kingston and St. Andrew had 200 missing children reports, while Clarendon had 93. Portland had the least number, with 12 reported missing children. During the webinar, she noted that a significant portion of children who go missing run away from their homes. She urged parents to be involved in their children's lives and to look out for the changes in their behavior that might be suspicious. Don't be afraid to sit down and have conversation with them. Yes, some of the times the conversations may be a little bit uncomfortable for both of you, but it's important for you to have those conversations with them, said Roberts. In most cases, if you don't have those conversations with them, then it opens a pathway for strangers to have those conversations with them, and those are the reasons why sometimes persons get to abduct children, she noted. She added that when a missing child returns home, the CPFSA conducts follow-up investigations to identify and rectify issues in the home. May misery. For years, the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF has struggled to identify the reasons being the almost annual spike in murders in May. It should be noted historically that this month has traditionally been the highest on a regular basis, Minister of National Security Dr. Armstrong pointed out during a special post-cabinet media briefing at Jamaica House on Thursday. In fact, it gave police force many hours of planning and thinking as to what is the cause of it, because May turned up every year with over 100 murders. On Friday, sources with a security background also struggled to determine what caused the annual spike, as they pointed to possible causes including the annual conference of the Jamaica Police Federation, which is usually held outside of the corporate era, and the absence of any major entertainment or sporting events during the month. In 2021, 105 murders were recorded in May, before jumping to 135 the same month in 2022. Then in 2023, a total of 133 murders were recorded in the month of May. But the trend has broken this year, with Chang pointing out to an almost 70% decline in murders so far in May when compared to the same period in 2024. In fact, last year it was 134 murders, and we're now at 42, and with 2 days to go in the month, we will come into below 50, declared Chang at the Thursday afternoon media briefing. I say with confidence because sometimes there are talks by others that we should not celebrate or take credit for this activity, but this government, led by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, decided investing in security, Chung argued after pointing to the overall major crime figures so far this year. He said that as of Thursday, there was a 43.3% decrease in murders compared to the same period, January to May 29 last year. That means that we have a reduction of 210 murders compared to the same period last year. This would be the lowest rate of homicides in the island since 1991, said Chang, as he noted that major crimes are down by 19.3% so far this year. The projected murder rate for this year, if we continue as we are, would be 24 per 100,000 persons, which would be the lowest since 1991. The first quarter of 2025 had the lowest murder number even recorded since the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF began keeping the weighted data in 2001. Only 188 murders were recorded in Quarter 1, and if it continues, Quarter 2 will be lower, Chang noted. So far, with the month almost completed, in the second quarter of 2025, only 87 murders have been recorded. With just 1 month remaining in the quarter, Q2 could end at an even lower rate than Q1, declared Chang. He was supported at the media briefing by Prime Minister, who argued that the steady decline in murders and other major crimes has not been by chance, but a result of targeted action by the administration. It is a result of strategic and unprecedented investment in national security. Since 2016, this administration has invested $87 billion in security. This is more than 3 times what was invested by previous administrations before 2016, stated Holness. So we are investing about $9 billion per year in security. This shows our intent. It is not just talking about security. It's just not praying about security. It is actually doing the work. It is making the effort and making the allocations for security, and that is yielding great result, noted Holness. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.